Is live in the Element Wealth studio. We welcome now Rob Premo, Director of Raspet Flight Research Laboratory at Mississippi State University and the Director of the Center for Cyber Innovation. Rob, thanks for joining us today.
Gerard, thanks for having me on. It's great. It's my pleasure.
75th anniversary of the Raspet Flight Research Lab. 75 years. Man, a lot of stuff has happened with respect to aviation in 75 years.
It's been an amazing 75 years, and the Raspet team here has just done a tremendous job. We're so thankful for the support we have from the university and our mission partners. It's a great time to be in aviation.
In just reflecting, Rob, on 75 years, any particular accomplishments that stand out to you? And also just tell our audience about how some of this innovation comes out of the lab there and then ends up being commercialized and put to practical use in industry and society.
Absolutely. So we work closely with our industry partners, everyone from a small technology startup company through major industry partners, as well as federal agencies that are looking to develop new capabilities for unmanned aerial systems. But we have some great partnerships, and some of the highlights, we started some business back in the mid 80s and mid 90s with the Honda Motor Corporation, where we helped them design and build their first business jet. And that was a great accomplishment for the Raspet team at that time. And we just continue to expand those capabilities.
So do you ever just get, I guess, solicited by industrial players in the aviation industry that come to you and say, look, we have an idea, we need your help to sort of turn this idea into reality?
We do, and we've had some great engagements recently to do those sorts of things, from folks that have new technologies that they want to demonstrate to, say, the Department of Defense. Before the Department of Defense goes and buys a piece of equipment, we're able to demonstrate that. We have a great relationship where we like to refer to ourselves as an independent third-party evaluator for a lot of major procurement activities. So we'll take a look at some of the hardware, we'll fly it, we'll validate it and verify the capabilities, and basically give that stoplight or grade sheet, if you will, back to a potential customer. So it's a great time.
Rob, quantify for us the amount of capital investment and jobs that have been created as a result of the work there at the Raspet Flight Research Lab.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Through the fiscal year defense budget for the Department of Defense alone, Mississippi State Research has accounted, I believe, for over $1 billion in the last 5 years. Just tremendous capabilities in support of our nation's national defense.
So composites are commonly used, are they not, in the manufacture of aviation assets, mainly because of the combination of strength and just their light weight. But
absolutely.
This is something that you guys actually pioneered back in the 60s. Is that correct?
We have, and I'll tell you, we've been able to leverage our partnership with one of our partner institutes here on campus, the Advanced Composite Institute. They're doing things next door to me that only exists 2 places in the United States. One of those is being NASA Langley, and the other one's here at the Advanced Composite Institute at Mississippi State University. The next generation aircraft that the Department of Defense is going to build is going to focus on a blended wing body in advanced 3D stitched resin composite manufacturing. And what that means to the warfighter and the taxpayer is we're going to be able to build those things much cheaper, and they're going to be much stronger. You mentioned some of that earlier. We look at typically about a 75% reduction in weight at about 25% of the cost. And what we're seeing is aviation quality components being built at automotive rates. So it's going to be a really change in technology for the industry.
Yeah. So something else that is really starting to take hold are just, I guess we would call them pilotless aircraft or uncrewed aircraft, whatever the terminology. I know even Boeing is testing commercial airliners, have been for 3 or 4 years. The theory being that we're not producing enough pilots, honestly, to meet our future air travel needs. And so Boeing's been working on pilotless commercial airplanes. you guys are already doing that, are you not, with some large scale aircraft?
We are. We operate the largest drone fleet in academia, and those are uncrewed or unmanned aircraft. And we are seeing tremendous growth in the industry and throughout the United States and really the world with unmanned aviation. And we're going towards autonomous operations of those aircraft.
Wow.
It's a great time to be in aviation, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I can see a situation where we just have machine to machine, sort of navigating, guiding, controlling aircraft, even perhaps replacing eventually the current manned system that we have, because that's another issue we have is we don't have enough air traffic controllers, and it's even though we have all sorts of sophisticated technology that they use, tools they use to control traffic, there's still a human error element involved in that. And if we could eliminate that and have all machine to machine, it could change that.
Absolutely, absolutely. We just we want to make sure we do it the right way, and we build in trust and confidence with the American
Yeah.
public as well as our users. Uh, but absolutely.
Yeah. But I think it's safe to say that's probably coming. So 75 years, we've talked about the past somewhat. What's on the horizon for the future?
Boy, it's a great time again to be in aviation. We're looking at, you mentioned machine learning on autonomous systems, artificial intelligence. We're doing some great capabilities there. It's utilizing drones for first responders. Imagine, if you will, a fleet of unmanned drones respond to a 911 call. They're going to be able to pass back sensor data and information back to law enforcement in a command operations center or to law enforcement that are actually showing up on scene to solve that problem. But it's a great capability. Just whatever we can envision, we'll be able to accomplish in the future.
Rob, tell us about the Raspet Flight Center and the Flight Research Lab and just Mississippi State's legacy of being involved in advanced aviation. How that's regarded on the global stage?
Well, Mississippi State University and really the state of Mississippi, we lead aviation research within the United States and around the world. We are a tremendous partner. We are the FAA's Center of Excellence for Academic Research for Unmanned Aerial Systems. Here at Raspet, we're the Department of Homeland Security's common test site. So again, we have great partnerships with many partners around the United States and around the world focusing on aviation research.
And then what about the U.S. Department of Defense? You alluded to that a minute ago. You've got some projects going on there, and I mean, it looks like we may be eventually really just transforming the entire fleet.
Absolutely, and it's interesting you should mention Department of Defense. We've had a number of engagements with some of the service partners that do not have enough drones at their utilization or at their ability to utilize, as well as they don't have enough pilots to operate those drones. So they're reaching out to us to see what we could do to help them increase their capacity and the throughput of their testing activities. But again, we're able to do things for Department of Defense, again, acting as an independent third-party evaluator for some of the technologies that industry is bringing forward for Department of Defense.
And in the a byproduct, I guess you could call it, is we're sort of launching a whole new series of careers associated with this as well, right?
We are, and that's a great point as well. About half of my staff here at Raspet are undergraduate and graduate students. The team is about a total of 60. And not only engineers, we're bringing in business students and giving them practical real-world internship opportunities here at our research centers and institutes. And again, aviation, advanced composites, autonomous vehicles, you name it, we have that right here at Mississippi State University.
Are you finding, Rob, that you're able to recruit Mississippians, the Mississippians that graduate from high school, enroll in Mississippi State, to enter the program as well? Are you finding interest there?
We are, and I mentioned the Advanced Composite Institute, another one of our institutes, Athlete Engineering, is really leading the forefront in that training of high school students, community college students, and senior workforce into these new areas of technology. Again, just tremendous opportunities, and we really do want to have a capability that exists for the residents of the state of Mississippi.
Rob, appreciate you joining us today and telling the story. Congratulations, 75 years. That is quite the milestone. I know there are many, many decades remaining of great work and great innovation coming. It truly is an incredible asset for the state of Mississippi, and we appreciate you, all the students, all the faculty and staff, the administration for fostering this institute, this lab. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Gerard, thank you so much for having me on, and have a great weekend.
You too. We're coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth studio.